Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for your Week 10 first look at the NFL slate. They got it open and up for Draftkings. So we're going to take a nice, quick little pick-see on each position that we like early in the week before, there could be some more injuries that are going to come in. So we're going to check out the QB, running back, wide receiver, and tight end positions for Week 10 in the NFL DraftKings slate, all right? But before we get into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJSD. All right, what you're seeing right here is the exclusive Patreon. You guys need to sign up for exclusive picks, one-on-one questions, and also value and stars to pay up for in your DFS lineups for DraftKings and or FanDuel. All right, I provide this on pretty much 5 days a week. Saturday I usually take off. Saturdays I usually give like UFC picks, and Sunday I usually give you my overview, last minute decisions on that week's slate on Sunday. Okay. Now, since you got that update, now let's look at this very intriguing Week 10 NFL football slate. We're going to start out with the quarterback position. One of the earlier guys I'm going to look at, and this is going to be all matchup based, and that's going to be Justin Herbert, 7,300, going up against the Minnesota Vikings, who just had a ball of a game going up against Lamar Jackson. He allowed a plenty amount of points there. I think Justin Herbert gets back on track in this game. Obviously, a little bump in the road against Baltimore and New England. Now he gets to face Philly, which he had 34 DraftKings points, and now Minnesota, who comes in with a poor rush defense and middling pass defense as well. So if they can get things going in the rush department with Austin Eckler, that will lead to big days for Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, and Parham and Jared Cook and those lights. All right. If they get that ball rolling with that running game, everything else trickles from there, and they can put up a lot of points. This can be a very high-scoring game because on the other side of the ball, Minnesota is able to keep up pace. They have Dalvin Cook, who can run all over them. They have Justin Jefferson. They have Adam Thielen. So it's a lot of offensive options in that game. Very explosive game stack we're going to look at for this Sunday. Another quarterback we're going to look at will be Tom Brady. Brady going up against the Washington football team. He had a nice matchup against them in the playoffs last year. He did very well. Now in the regular season, they're going back to Washington. In this game, Tampa Bay coming in off a bye, going to be refreshed. Tom Brady is looking to, push forward on the second half of this season and really drive it home and get all the accolades, okay? Tom Brady, I love his price at 7,600. I expect another 30-plus game. Obviously, it doesn't matter if Antonio Brown is going to be out. Gronkowski is questionable. They still have enough talent on that offensive side of the ball. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and other backup wide receivers and tight ends they have to boost up Tom Brady, all right, in this matchup. So Tom Brady is going to be a great guy to look for. Also, another sneakier option for the QB position will be Dak Prescott at 6,900. Had a little bit of bump in the road coming back from his little bye and the injury going up against Denver. They showed up and showed out. He struggled at pretty much the first 3 quarters of the game. In the fourth quarter, he kind of woke up. Now we get him at a little bit of a cheaper price. Dak Prescott, I think he bounced back against the Atlanta Falcons, who are a very poor defense, allowed a nice amount of points to the backup of the Saints and Trevor Siemian. This is going to be a whole different ball game with Dak Prescott. Their 2 running backs with CeeDee Lamb, with their number 1 wide receiver. It's just too much to handle. I can't believe I just drew a blank on him, but that's okay. That's all right. Dak Prescott at 6,900 is one of my last quick little options at QB that we're going to pay up for for week 10. Let's move over to the running back position. There's some juiciness over here. The first one we're going to start off with, as long as he's healthy, we are going to play him, and that is going to be Christian McCaffrey. We can go all in on him. This is a very supreme discount you're getting on Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey was at the beginning of the season 9,900, 9,500, 9,000. Now you're getting him at 8,400, coming off a very tough matchup in the New England Patriots. But technically that's not a very tough matchup because Patriots do give up rushing yards. They are very good against teams in pass defense. That's the strength of the New England Patriots. But you get a healthy CMC now going up against the Arizona Cardinals. We're looking for usage here, and this guy is going to get it 18 touches last week against the New England Patriots. I can see a little bump increased into his snaps as well. Christian McCaffrey is an elite play for week 10. Let's get back on that. All right. He should get into the end zone. Definitely this week. Next, we're going to look at will be Dalvin Cook. Like I said before, I love this game stack. Dalvin Cook has not had a touchdown in 2 weeks. He's going to be a guaranteed touchdown this week against the Chargers. I'm putting my money on it. I love Dalvin Cook against this Chargers run defense. They had a little bit of trouble against Philly and their rushing offense. Dalvin Cook is a whole nother monster. As you can see, Cook against the Baltimore Ravens had 17 carries, 110 yards. They said they were going to feed him. They're going to go to the next level against the Chargers. It's going to be a very intriguing matchup. I don't know who wins this game, but if Dalvin Cook is on the up and up, I would lean the Vikings. But Dalvin Cook, 8,000. I love that price. Next running back we're going to look at, this one is another matchup based, is going to be Najee Harris going up against the Detroit Lions, one of the worst defenses in the league. This is definitely a performance where you can see him getting 100 plus yards rushing, plus the receiving upside. As you can see right here, rushing defense, it's 29th in the league against running backs, 134 yards all purpose, 2 running backs. So you see a big game coming from him. He's worth the price. So all these running backs, you're going to need to find value this week either at the wide receiver or tight end position because it's definitely worthwhile paying up for these quarterbacks and running backs this week in week 10. I have a cheaper running back for you to go to, and this one is based on injury because Chase Edmonds is going to be out for a little bit. James Conner has taken over the carries. Obviously, the backup to James Conner is Eno Benjamin, so he's someone to look at. But Conner is now getting full reign of this offense. 21 rushes and 96 yards, 2 TDs against the San Francisco 49ers. He also coupled that with 5 receptions, 5 targets, 77 yards, and a touchdown. Very dynamic, doing what he did in Pittsburgh. But I think this is a better environment for him. He's feeling more confident, and he's looking very fresh, taking full advantage of red zone opportunities. He has 11 touchdowns already this year. I love James Conner at that nice middle price at 6,300. Let's move over to the wide receiver position, and obviously we want to pair with one of our quarterbacks. Obviously, the first one we're going to go with, as I said, I did like Tom Brady. That means we're going to Mike Evans. Mike Evans, the wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last week before the bye was the Chris Godwin show. I think they get back to Mike Evans. There's a lot of a seesaw between these two. Tom Brady feels like, hey, I'm going to let you have a great game. And then next week, hey, you have a great game. I think this is back to Mike Evans, where you've seen something similar against Chicago, where it was 6 receptions, 10 targets, 76 yards, and 3 TDs. This can be something very similar in that prospect. Definitely the touchdown is going to happen because the 2 options is just Godwin and Evans. We're looking for more yards and we're looking for more receptions as well to have, so he can have a huge game, something similar to that Miami where it was 6-1, 13 and 2 TDs. That's what you want from Mike Evans, and I think that he can do it against this poor Washington defense. A big letdown from Washington this year. All right. Next, who we're going to move over to will be Mike Williams. So obviously Justin Herbert is in this lineup. We want someone to pair him with, and that's going to be Mike Williams. Mike Williams had a big start to the season, red hot, with 3 weeks in a row, had one off day against the Raiders, and then came back against Cleveland with 39 fantasy points. As of late, he has not passed 10 fantasy points in the last 3 games. Now you get a nice matchup going up against Minnesota. Like I said, they get that running game open. It's going to open up things for the wide receivers, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Mike Williams is a big body wide receiver. Definitely someone to be scared of in that red zone area. And Herbert and Williams have a very nice connection. And I like Mike Williams at 6,600. All these guys I'm putting in, and we still have enough salary to fill out a lineup. Even though it would be ugly, you would have to really sacrifice that defense, and you can still find some middle prices at wide receiver and tight end. Let's go to our last wide receiver for week 10 so far in the first look, and that's going to be Michael Pittman for the Indianapolis Colts, going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are another poor defense. And this man, as you can see here, passing defense, Jaguars are 26th ranked. But Pittman is coming into his own. The injury to T.Y. Hilton, he's pretty much in and out every single week. You see the upstart against San Francisco where it was 4-105 in the TD. Then against Tennessee, he had 10 and 86 for 2 TDs. Then against the New York Jets, he had 5 for 64 and 1 TD. He is becoming an alpha in this offense right before your eyes. Him and Wentz have a great connection at 6,300. This is going to be one of our locks of the week for week 10. All right. And that will be your selections for wide receiver. Last but not least, I have 3 selections for tight end. The first one we're going to start off with is Kyle Pitts. This freak of nature who the Falcons paid up for very early in the draft. He is now 5,800, and he's now the number 1 option in this offense between him and Cordarrelle Patterson. That is where the ball is going in this Falcons offense. Behind him is Russell Gage, who's stepped up just a little bit in the absence of Calvin Ridley. But Kyle Pitts is a freak of nature. The upside you've seen against Miami and the New York Jets. Now you get the Dallas Cowboys, who always struggled against tight ends, just like the Jets always struggle against tight ends, and just like the Los Angeles Chargers in the history, they always struggled against tight ends. You get a great opportunity between Pitts going up against Keanu Neal and the other safeties on the Dallas Cowboys side. Those are mismatches because of his side and speed combination at 5,800. A lot of people were let down from him last week, but we're going back to the well at 5,800. I love Kyle Pitts. Next, we have Dalton Schultz at 5,000. He is a model of consistency. Look at the targets: 5, 7, 6, 8, 8. That's what I want to see from my tight end. As long as he's getting looks, and I'm happy, all right? He hasn't got in the end zone since week 4. That can change against Atlanta, who has a very poor defense. But Dalton Schultz is getting a solid volume, especially the likes of Dawson Knox being out. You can rely on Dalton Schultz to come through with at least some solid targets and yards each and every week. I like Schultz at 5,000. And then last but not least is going to be Pat Freiermuth, and that is Baby Gronk. I drafted him in almost every league. This man is a freak of nature, and he's getting very well acclimated with Ben Roethlisberger in the Monday Night Football game. He's already got 2 TDs. He's that number 1 target in the red zone that Ben Roethlisberger is looking for. Great hand-ball-eye coordination. Outstanding catch in that last game against Cleveland to get that game-winning end zone catch. Pat Freiermuth at 3,900. He is still cheap. He is going to be obviously worth more than that after that Monday Night Football game, but you're getting him at a cheap price since they already put out the prices. So take full advantage of that. So The tight ends will be Kyle Pitts, Dalton Schultz, and Pat Frymouth. And that will be our breakdown. Just a little quick first look at the plays for Week 10 in DraftKings. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in that comment section down below if you have any other suggestions for this Week 10. Obviously, I'm going to look at them. Obviously, we have the rest of the week with practice, and things can change at a moment's notice. But thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJSD, and I'll be back with another video very soon. Peace out.